Hello juniors, and welcome back to programming. For this video, we're going to be going over your first project in Python. So here's the unit folder. We've got the project video and the activity prompt. So this is where, when you click on this, it'll open up this page where you'll actually be submitting your assignment. And this is how many points it's due. When you click on this activity prompt link, it'll take you to the activity prompt. So for this project, we are going to make our first project, which is going to be a survey. So we're going to get information from the user and then store that information. So these are the final requirements for the project. You can refer back to these once you finish to make sure that you did everything. And then those are all the other things. So first, let's go over the programming process again, because we will be using this for every project. So the process is as follows. It's objective, pseudocode, and then code. The objective has two parts. First, we must create a one-sentence summary of what our project is supposed to do. Second, we must create a to-do list of tasks we need to do to make this project work. This list doesn't have to be in any specific order, but the list does need to have all the parts we need for the program to function properly. After we finish that, our objective, we'll move on to the pseudocode. So after the objective, we can use it to outline some pseudocode. Pseudocode is formatting the tasks from the objective into the structure of Python. So additionally, all the tasks are broken down into their smaller parts. This means that there will be a lot more detail for the tasks. The more detailed pseudocode is, the easier it is to code. And our final step is coding. If you do all the other parts correctly, this should be actually really easy. All you have to do is go down the pseudocode and complete each task. Once you complete each task, you can test the project and find any bugs. If you note that if you don't make your pseudocode detail, there will be a lot of small pieces that you forget, which will cause a lot more bugs. So it'll take more time in debugging. So let's kind of talk about the overview of projects in this class, because this is your first one. So in this course, we will be completing many projects, and they will all use the same structure so that they are easy for you to understand. So we'll be kind of copy and pasting the same structure so that you won't be confused by that, so that you can just focus on doing the actual coding, because the coding is what we care about. So all of the projects are going to have the following information. So it'll have an objective, just like the programming process. It's a simple statement of what the program does and a to-do list, and we'll provide that for you. Then there'll be a need to know. In this section, we'll provide you with tools you need to know to complete this project. So if there's anything special that we want you to use that we haven't taught you yet, like certain functions, then we'll go over those. So you'll need to check this section to know how to do all the tasks. We'll also explain these tools in this video that you're watching currently. Your task will be, then the next section will be your task. This will be giving you a sentence telling you what you need to complete. Just some guidelines. We will always give you an objective. So we'll always give you what the program is actually going to be. So you never have to come up with that by yourself. Sometimes we will provide you with pseudocode, but not all the time. But you will always code the projects yourself, and your tasks will be outlined in this section. Then for pseudocode, sometimes you'll get pseudocode from us. This pseudocode is very detailed and give you a basically a step-by-step guide to completing the program. We suggest copy and pasting the pseudocode into your project module and complete the tasks down below the comments, like you would in the drills. And then you can delete the comments once you've completed them. If you follow this, you should end with a fully functional program. And then at the end, the last section, that's all the sections. So you'll get objective, need to knows, your task, and then pseudocode. And now we can actually move on to project 1, which is our survey. So here's all the sections that I was talking about earlier. It's all the way down below this, and then you go into submission instructions. So first you have your objective. The objective is to make a program that can take survey information from a user. These are your tasks to complete. You need to ask the user 5 questions and get their answers. So the questions are, what is your name? What is your favorite color? What city did you grow up in? What is your best friend's name? And what color hair do you have? Then you're going to store each of the user's answers, each of these, in variables. Then you're going to print the user's answers out. What you need to know, you just need to understand the variables, comments, and input units. So if you've done those units, you should be fine. Your task, so now we're getting into what you actually have to do. Your task is to code the project using objective and pseudocode given to you. So we'll give you we're giving you the objective, it's right here, and we're giving you the pseudocode. So now you just need to code the project. You must also put a starting multi-line comment on the top of your program that says what the program does, so basically our objective, and who the author is, which is you. So to make the project, you're going to follow this process. So let's go over to the Eclipse, and we'll kind of follow along with it. So make a new PyDev project called Survey. I already have one. It's right here. And then we're going to make a .py module called Survey. So go File, New, PyDev module, and then you can just call it Survey. I already have one named this, so I'm just going to call it Test and then you can click OK. Then you're going to write the starting line comment. So the author is Michael Williams, and the task is to make a program that can take survey information. I'll capitalize this to make it an actual sentence. And that's what we're doing. Then we're going to copy and paste the pseudocode. So down here we have this pseudocode. And we'll copy and paste that into here. And then we can start coding the project. So I'm not going to code the project. This is where you go. But all you're going to do is just like we do for the drills. You'll go here, read the comment, use input to ask the blah, 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 blah. Read that, and then you do whatever it says. So if it says make a variable, you make a variable. You just follow this, and by the end, you should have all the pieces that you need for the complete project. Then run the project. After you code the whole thing, run it, make sure that there's no errors. Then you're going to submit on GitHub following the GitHub submission process. You will be graded on these following points. You need to have that starting multi-line comment. You'll have 1 point for having each of the questions. So to get the full point, you need to have the question is asked. The input needs to be stored, and then the input needs to be printed back out. So that 1 point has 3 parts to it. Then you're going to have 1 point for just the program being able to run. If we can download it and run it, then that's a point. And then you need 1 point for the project being submitted on GitHub correctly. So as long as you follow the pseudocode and go through, you should be able to get through this project fairly simply. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to us via email. Otherwise, juniors, I will see you later.